Hi guys, it's Lara. Thanks for watching and welcome back to my channel. So this is my last video for 2018. It's gonna be a 2018 review. I have here my list with my plans and goals for 2018, and I also have written some stuff down in my bullet journal, so we're just gonna go through it and we'll see what I achieved and what didn't work out. So if that's something you're interested in, then please keep watching. Let's start with my 2018 overview. I have a video about my plans and goals for 2018, so I will link it down below in case you missed that, or if you're new here, or if you simply want to watch it again. I have here several columns, and we're going to start with the first column on the left, which is called personal. So the first thing that I have here is to graduate, which I did. I handed my bachelor thesis in at the end of January, and I officially graduated from the Vienna Business University with the end of February, and I'm so proud of that. It was a lot of work. It was really tough because I've been going to university while I was also working and raising a kid, so it was not always easy, but I managed to do that. It took me quite a while, but it was totally worth it, and it definitely paid off. The next bullet I have here is saying daily affirmations. I should have done that more often. I've been doing it pretty regularly, but I think it would have paid off to do it more often than what I did, and I need to work on that because daily affirmations is a tool for myself that really helps a lot, especially whenever I kind of fall back into negative thoughts. Then I have here DIY and thrift shop clothing, which meant I wanted to buy only thrift shop stuff, and whenever I wanted something new, then I had to make it myself, which I basically did all the year, but there were a few exceptions. First of all, I have a merch shop on Spreadshirt, so I bought this shirt with my Howling Wolf, and I bought a second one that's a little bit different cut at the end of the year because I just want to wear these. I never push my merch shop too much. I actually never talk about it much in my videos, but it's always linked down below. So I bought these two shirts. I also bought two summer tops that I used as a template for one of my DIYs, but to be honest, I could have just made a photo. So they were more like being weak a little bit, but at least they were not expensive. And then I bought myself at the end of the year two things that are knitwear because I don't knit, so that's at least a really plausible excuse. I bought myself a new sweater and a knitted dress, but that was all. All the other things that I made myself, I made them myself, and I don't even think that I've been in a thrift shop this year. So the next thing was I wanted to declutter my closet and the kitchen, which I did. I decluttered my closet to a point where I know all the things I have are things I really want to wear. Maybe I don't wear them every single season, or like not like if it's a seasonal stuff, like let's say summer things, I don't wear them every single summer, but I wear them in turns, and I know I'm gonna wear them again. I still have a lot of stuff, partially because I enjoy sewing, so of course I'm gonna have probably more stuff than the average person, but all the things I have are things I enjoy. They don't feel like they are kind of putting weight on my life, so definitely a great thing. And I decluttered the kitchen a lot. I even reorganized the kitchen so it makes more sense. Especially we have one of the cabinets is like a corner cabinet, and I used to have there some canned food and stuff like that, and it always got forgotten, and then I had to throw stuff away, and I hate throwing away food because it's such a waste. So instead of that, now I have their cups and glasses because we are only 2 people living here. We don't need that many, and if you have a visit, then you can easily like take everything out, so everything worked fine. So yay, that was an achievement. I wanted to get my braces, which I did. Sometimes I wished I didn't get these braces. Instead of that, I should have gotten the Invisalign, but sometimes I'm really happy with the decision. It depends on how much they rub inside of my mouth. It's not so bad. But there was one case recently, oh gosh, I had a canker sore and I had it for over a week. Not because the canker sore wouldn't heal, but it was because one of the braces kept rubbing it. And once I even bitten through it because there's this pointy end on one of my braces, and I have bitten something up and the pointy end went straight through the skin. It bled so much, but fortunately now it's healed, so sometimes pain in the ass, but when I see how much straighter my teeth are, I'm like, wow, I'm probably gonna wear this for maybe another year or year and a half, and then it's all forgotten and gone. Then I wanted to get my citizenship, or at least get as far with the process as possible, which I also did. I collected all the stuff they asked me to collect. I scheduled already an appointment for handing it in. I actually hoped I would still be able to hand it in 2018, but they said, yeah, we have so many appointments booked out, we have to do it in March. I was like, really? So I have to hand it in March 2019, but I got to the furthest point I could, and on scheduling the appointment I had basically no influence, so that's done. I wanted to sell my car because I never drive. I walk because our office is in a walking distance. That's why we actually got the office there. It's our company. So of course, when we had the possibility to pick something like a location that's close to our home, of course we did. That way we don't have to drive. It's so much nicer. And we have a second car, so no need for two cars in a family where we actually walk to work. So the fun part is my dad bought the car. He so wanted it, because when I mentioned, yeah, we're gonna sell my car, I don't need it, he was like, please, if you consider selling it, I want to be the first in line. I felt kind of weird about that first, but then I was like, you know what, I know we give him the best price he could possibly get for the car, and he knows it too, he trusts us, and the car was in an amazing state because it was always in a garage and I was always very careful with it. And so he was like, yeah, I want it. So he bought it and he loves it. He enjoys the car so much, so I'm so happy for him. And I'm also happy that we don't have the car anymore because it was just sitting in the garage. Then I wanted to read regularly, which I did. I finished the 5th Game of Thrones book, A Dance with Dragons. And I read some of the books that I already knew, but I wanted to reread them. Like, for example, Ballerina from Edward Stewart or Bunheads from Sophie Fluck. You see kind of a pattern. I like books about ballet. And I love Rose Press's books. It's paranormal romance usually, apart from a few of her books. And it's so much fun. Like, if you enjoy love stories, paranormal stuff, and something fun, definitely something I can recommend. Right now I'm reading one of her books and I read a lot. I am such a bookworm. So, achievement. Then I wanted to go, as usual, on long walks with Hercules. This is something I always want to do, and we did. I wanted to enjoy things without feeling guilty. That's a thing I still have to work on that, because sometimes whenever I allow myself a little indulgence, I feel like I shouldn't. But at the end, I learned that at least to a point where I can live with it, because it's maybe like once in 10 times that I kind of feel guilty about something. But other than that, I was fine, and that's definitely a big achievement. Then I wanted to finish my sleeve, which I did. I have a video about my tattoos, so I will link it down below. I wanted to get a wrist tattoo, which I also did on my other hand. And I wanted to grow out my hair as much as possible, which I did as well. I cut my hair only once in 2018 because I took such great care of it. Despite bleaching it for most of the time, my hair is still in an amazing state. I stopped bleaching my hair in August. And I decided not to use any permanent hair dyes anymore. So this is right now just semi-permanent. And that's as far as I'm willing to go with hair dyes, because I just want to grow out my natural hair color. And I think, like, right now I'm enjoying having fashion hair color again, so that's what I'm gonna continue doing. When I get tired of it, I will just wash it out and have my natural hair color. Even though I have some graying hair, I honestly don't give a fuck about that anymore, because, like, why should it be wrong to have gray hair? It's a stupid thing to feel bad about, right? Like, so whatever. Then I have here a column, health. So there were only 2 things. No alcohol. I have been 2 years sober now, and I don't drink alcohol anymore, and I don't plan on drinking alcohol anymore. My life is so much easier. I didn't have an alcohol problem. Like, I wasn't an alcoholic, or like that I couldn't stop drinking, don't get me wrong. But alcohol and I, not a good combination, because it's just really bad for my metabolism. And I'm gonna film a video about that a little bit more detailed, because it was just bad for me. So I stopped 2 years ago, a little bit over 2 years ago, drinking alcohol, and I never looked back. And I just have written it down that I just don't want to start again, and I didn't. I don't have any intention. on starting drinking again, because it's just a thing I don't want to have in my life anymore. Intuitive eating was meant more in terms of like when I'm craving something, it probably means I should eat more, because like you have to be careful. Like if you're craving cookies, that does not mean your body needs cookies. It usually means that something's missing in your diet. Like there are people craving newspaper because they're missing something else. It doesn't mean you need to eat newspapers, if you know what I mean. So I was more listening to my body whenever I felt like I'm craving something. I knew, okay, I should probably eat more. I did that. My weight maintained the same, like stayed the same. And it was actually good for me, for my energy level. But in general, I have an amazing health. Like my blood work is awesome. I got my blood work done recently and my doctor was like, this is awesome. I wish everyone would have these results. I even have so much iron and magnesium that I'm actually a little bit over the higher level. She was like, no more of that stuff. And definitely not protein deficient, even though it's my 3rd year of being vegan, don't worry. So then I have here a column sports. I wanted to be stretching 5 times a week. This is amazing. It made such a huge difference. I got way more flexible, but I think right now it's a little bit too much working out 5 times a week for me with my entire schedule. I feel sometimes overwhelmed. I have to rethink that strategy, especially because on Wednesday my ballet classes are pretty intense. I have for a little bit over 2 hours ballet and then I stretch for 45 minutes. So I'm working out basically for more than 3 hours, or like about 3 hours. That's a lot. And then I'm usually very wiped out and I really need like at least 2 rest days. So I don't think this 5 times stretching is gonna work out for me long term, because at the end of the year I felt kind of exhausted. And when I say 5 times stretching, I always stretch after working out. So that also included me working out 5 times a week. I don't think it's sustainable the way I've been doing it. So limbering up every day, awesome. Doing yoga regularly, awesome. But like forcing myself to work out full time, like you know, like full power 5 times, it's probably a little bit too much for me. I wanted to do pole dance at least once a week and ballet once a week. I went through the ballet once a week because, yeah, I have every Wednesday my ballet classes. With the pole dance, not so much. I've been actually working out a lot on the pole, especially in summer, but I stopped somewhere around August, and when I returned from Croatia, I don't know why I never started again. I always wanted to, then I got sick, then it got cold, we had some issues with the furnace, then it was too cold to like, you know, be like in panties and a sports bra, and now I was like, oh, I should, and I didn't, so I have to work on that too. So kind of a little fail with pole, but I got over my fears to a point where I feel comfortable doing certain stuff, and of that I'm very proud. Then I wanted to finally do some cardio, and I did. I started riding my bike. I started going for a run again, so definitely something I needed to do. And yeah, I have here an explicit bullet saying ride your bike, and I did that a lot. And as soon as the weather's gonna be a little bit warmer, I will ride my bike again. I love it. That's something I don't want to miss again. And that's also the thing, like, you know, I've been riding my bike a lot, and in addition to that, working out 5 times a day, a week, it's just, you know, it's just crazy. Then the last column I have here was business. So I wanted to do DIY projects once a week. That definitely did not work out. Sometimes I didn't feel like making some things, and sometimes I just didn't have the time. It's very time consuming and it's just not realistic. I will continue with my DIY channel, but the channel exists because I do things, make things, and not vice versa. I will not be making things just because I have the channel. Otherwise I would end up with stuff that I don't need. So I don't think I'm gonna continue with DIYs once a week, but I want to do it on a regular basis. Then I wanted to film on this channel twice a week, which I did, sometimes even 3 times, and I even went through with Vlogmas, so happy with the result. I have the German channel, Lara von Montberg. I stopped filming for that channel because I realized I was only filming because I felt guilty of not filming. Now, I filmed there my braces update, and I will do that probably a couple of times a year, but that's as far as it goes. I just don't have the energy to work on more channels, like this channel, and then DIY channel. Whenever I'm making something is more than enough, and I don't want to do anything beyond that. I wanted to be visualizing my goals. Now that's something I struggled with a lot. For whatever reason, my mind was kind of so tired this year. I had such a hard time to stay positive. I had so many self-doubts regularly. I think it's in general because after I graduated, all the weight of the years before, where I had so much to do, kind of came down on me because my body was finally allowed to be tired. And I think that's what happened, because in general, I am extremely happy in my life. Like literally, I am so grateful. Every morning I get up, I feel like, oh my gosh, if my life wouldn't change for the rest of the life, like my life, I wouldn't care, because I'm so happy. I have this wonderful little doggy I love so much. I have a wonderful husband who is also my best friend. We work together, which is amazing because I just love that, working together. I love doing YouTube, but still there were times where I just felt so wiped out, and the visualization was really hard for me for whatever reason, so I have to work on that further. Then I wanted to look more into ITIL and some certifications. There was no way I would have the energy to do that, so maybe next year or the year after. And I wanted to work on some documentation at the office, which I partially did, so there's still some stuff open, but I'm pretty happy other than that. So yeah, apart from a few things, I think I basically went through with most of the stuff, so that's fine. And then I have here an additional list in my bullet journal that's a little bit more detailed. So first of all, I wanted to be able to do splits, or at least to improve my flexibility as much as possible, that I would be one step closer to the splits. So I'm still not able to do splits, but that's partially because I'm just very careful about stretching. Of course, I always try to reach a certain level and to improve, but I'm also very careful so that I don't get injured, because that's something that used to happen to me a lot the years before. And in the last 2 years, I have to say I haven't had any injury. And also my flexibility improved so much. And I was always focused just on my legs, but this year I also said that's stupid. I have to also work on my shoulder flexibility and on my back. So it doesn't matter if I will be able to do splits in 2 years or in 5 years. I just want to improve my flexibility, like overall flexibility. And that worked. Now my back flexibility is better. There is something still with my left shoulder. I had an injury, and also I noticed that there is a little bulge on one of the bones, so I have to have it look at and see what's the issue there, because that might be also the underlying cause from the pain and from the struggle with the flexibility in my left shoulder. And other than that, I'm super happy. Like, I've worked a lot on my straddle, because that used to be my nemesis, and I got so much better. And then at the end of the year, I just realized, like, basically one of the things that's holding me back from splits is also my hip flexor. So I need to stretch my hip flexor more. So I already have a plan for next year. Then again, growing out as long as possible. We already covered that. We already covered the graduation, my sleeve, the braces, the citizenship. So we don't have to go over that again. I wanted to find the ideal purple for my hair. I have written it in like during time when I was still bleaching my hair, and I wanted to have a really nice pale purple, but at some point I figured out it's maybe not what I want, so I would wear my hair just like white blonde, and look where I'm now. It's actually way darker, but I'm super happy with this purple. So even though it stopped being my plan throughout the year, I came back to having purple hair, and I actually like this so much. So it looks like it worked out after all, even though the purple that I had in mind at the beginning of the year was way lighter because it required bleaching, and now I don't want to bleach my hair again, but hopefully this will stay at least a reasonable amount of time on my natural hair as well. Then, where are we? That was the purple. Then improve back bends. I talked already about improving my flexibility. It definitely worked. I wanted to study again Russian and Spanish. I did not look at it for a single day, so that's a fail. I also wanted to start practicing singing again. I used to take opera lessons. I don't have an amazing voice, but I like singing, and opera lessons was so much fun. So I wanted to find an app for it, never looked for it, so fail. I already talked about my tattoo. Then I had some goals when it comes to how many subscribers I wanted to have on what channel. I stopped caring about it. Look, YouTube changed so much. Like back in the days when I started doing YouTube, it was very different. It was not so career driven, not so much money driven. I started doing YouTube when the monetization wasn't even available for Austria. And I got monetized only a way after I was already doing YouTube for a while. And this year, this channel got demonetized because they changed again the rules, which I find really fucked up because my channel already fulfilled the requirements that were back then the requirements. Now they raised it so much, and I'm really struggling with that because I have enough subscribers now according to their new rules, but I just don't have the watch time. But on the other hand, I don't want to end up filming super long videos all the time that no one can watch because people don't have that much time. I just still want to film the way I want to film, the way I think it's good for you. I mean, obviously this video is super long, but that's an exception. But I think like it shouldn't be the case that all my videos would be like half an hour long or something like that, just because I'm not monetized. So I'm not gonna go that path. But it was very daunting, very demotivating for me because I was like, come on, YouTube, like I'm working so hard already. But I didn't let that bring me down. I still continue with this channel because this channel is very important to me. I am sharing here a lot of stuff that I haven't shared yet, like for example my me time stories. So I will link the video down below. I've been also talking here about depression and there is more stuff coming about several issues that are similar. And I noticed how much this channel actually helped me already. Like when I filmed the video about the Me Too issue, it helped me heal from that. And I went through an incredible personal development this year where I let go of things and imagination, like ideas I had about myself. I let go of the beauty standards and I'm just doing it my way. And partially because I was able to share some stuff, so that's amazing. And I just stopped caring about the success with the channel. I care more about how much it helps me and how much it helps you guys. And my DIY channel is doing fine, even though I'm not filming regularly. And other than that, it's just a number at the end of the day, you know. And the thing is, I am fortunately in a lucky position that I don't need the income from YouTube. I would like to have it, but I don't need it, so whatever. I just stopped caring about it. Plus, I can't win the war against their constantly changing algorithm. I'm also kind of in a niche being a vegan, not doing all the beauty stuff, and I realize I'm a person who polarizes a lot. So, you know, you just can't please everyone, and I'm not willing to sell my soul or to do things just for the success. I used to have a beauty channel or like a channel focused more on beauty. I'm not having fun with that. I don't want to do that. I want to do the things that I'm doing here, sharing what I eat, sharing my thoughts about stuff, talking about serious issues, sometimes having fun, sometimes vlogging, like doing pretty much whatever feels right to me. But I'm not gonna go and do things just because I think it would make me successful. So I guess I'm probably not cut out for that. But honestly, I think my life is way better that way. So yeah, that would be about the subscribers. Yeah, right. Increase your YouTube income. My YouTube income is not so bad when I consider how much work I put into it, apart from this channel, which has been demonetized. But honestly, like some people think you can get super rich with YouTube. Well, you have to work a lot and you have to have many collabs outside of YouTube. Just the YouTube income is just ridiculous sometimes. Then I wanted to be more social. Forget it. I'm not even gonna put it on my list for 2019. I just don't like being around people. Like, people sometimes think that just because I share stuff online or film live videos on Instagram that I do it because I'm lonely. No, I do it because it's the only way for me to be around people kind of without being around people. I enjoy that, but I don't enjoy being physically around people that much. Definitely not in masses of people. I have a few friends I like and I see them regularly. I love being around my husband because he's my best friend, and that's as far as it goes. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I'm just not gonna be a party person or a person who loves being around people all the time. It's just not who I am. So forget that. Didn't work. Then I wanted to take regular pole dance classes, did not do any of it because I'm paying for my braces and that's pretty expensive every month. I'm paying 188 euros every single month. And pole dance course is around 120 euros and I just don't want to spend the money. And right now I had to take a loan because I will also get rid of my implants, which costs quite a lot of money. So I'm gonna pay monthly additional 100 euros back, and that just excludes any extra expensive courses. I mean, I could pay that, but I don't want to. Then I have here declutter wardrobe. We talked about that. Finally buy new socks. I did. The thing is, I love socks. I have a thing for dorky socks, like super tacky Christmas socks and stuff like that. And I had a few socks that started having holes on the heel, which looked pretty ridiculous, but I liked them so much, but I finally got rid of them and bought some new socks. It was about time. I already talked about decluttering and reorganizing the kitchen. I did that. And the last point on this list was paint the kitchen fronts, which I haven't yet because I just didn't have the time and I also didn't have the energy. Like, recently I feel like I really need to rest a little bit more because I've done a lot of stuff this year, and part of the year was very stressful. My dad had a heart attack and like, yeah. But let's talk shortly before I stop, which is the video is already endless, but if you are with me so far, congratulations. So a few words about my personal development. So apart from letting go of certain standards, like not putting on makeup every day, basically like reducing it to an absolute minimum, which is for me blush and an eyebrow gel, occasionally mascara, and that's it. Ditching foundation, ditching eyeshadow, stuff like that. It was amazing for me. It was so freeing. Like, there's nothing wrong with makeup, but apparently the value that it had for me was not really there, actually. I think it only put on more pressure for myself. I kind of felt I have to do it to fit in, and that's not true. You should do it just because you're having fun or because you're creative, because you want to express yourself, but you should not do it because you feel like you have to. And that was kind of the point for myself. I have a video about that, so I will link it down below. Same goes for the hair color. I used to color my hair in all these years just because I was afraid of having gray hair, because I had gray hair already mid-20s. Like, I felt like, oh, I will look old, people gonna think this and that for me, and I wouldn't fit the beauty standards. Fuck that. Like, what is wrong with a few gray hairs? Like, honestly, and even if my hair was completely gray, and so what? So basically, I let go of all the expectations that nowadays society has on women, and I decided to do whatever I felt was right for me. And also, to be honest, I finally let go of the idea of myself that I had in my head, that I created. I created this look, this image that I wanted to achieve, and I let go of it. I just stopped trying to look different. I am looking the way I am. And yeah, okay, maybe the purple hair is not necessarily natural, but you get it probably. And also, I stopped dealing with superficial people. Honestly, whenever someone comes with some superficial bullshit, I just send these people straight to hell. I don't want people like that in my life, and I don't even care about being polite to these people anymore, because they are not polite in the first place. Like, there are some things that people tell you just because they feel like their opinion is so important and you have to listen to it. No, you don't. Like, if you pick something for yourself because you like it, you don't have to listen to someone else telling you they don't like it on you or it doesn't look good on you, because obviously you spend the money on shit because you like it, you think you look good in it. So why would anyone else feel like it's so important to force their shit on you? So yeah, I don't deal with that anymore. I'm fed up with this superficial behavior, And whenever someone starts like that, I tell them straight away, no, goodbye. That was not necessarily a very positive thing to say as the last thing, but it was very important to for me to say that. Other than that, I am super happy with 2018, how it went, even though some things were not always so pleasant. But overall, I am incredibly grateful for everything in my life, and I consider myself so lucky, so there is definitely nothing to complain. And I also want to thank you guys for this amazing year, because you were part of the good things. So thanks again, and I'm looking forward to spend another year with you. So thank you so much. You can let me know about your year in the comments. Did something happen that was really great, or did something happen that made you sad? Whatever you want to share with us. If you feel like you want to share, you are welcome to write that in the comments. So thank you all so much for watching. I wish you a happy new year and see you guys soon. Bye!